I appreciate it. And Diddles, thank you for sending me the story recap for game 1. Let's watch that now, and then we continue the game.
And if you played 2011's Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine at launch, it has been...
Dude, look at it, man. He's a Giga Chad. He really is. Look at this guy. Holy crap, man.
over a decade since you first experienced the game's narrative. That is unless you've replayed it recently, of course.
Okay.
However, if you clicked on this video, that's probably not you.
Nope.
So whether you've forgotten or never played it at all, you're in the right place.
So wait, is it coincidence that he just looks almost exactly like Henry Cavill? Or is it just like Henry Cavill was made to play Warhammer? Like, I don't know.
We're going over all the
and he's like the biggest Warhammer fan.
Game just in time for the much anticipated sequel.
Let's do it.
Alert! Forge World Grya is under attack by an orc.
Wow!
So, let me break that down. Forge Worlds are factory planets that the Imperium use to mass produce their tools of war. Grya is one such planet, and it specializes in the production of weapons for the Imperial armies. Aside from the loads of guns, there is also the Titan Invictus, a large mech that holds the title for most powerful weapon on the planet.
Okay, alright, that looks fun.
These battle titans are of extreme importance, and the Imperium would hate to see them falling into the wrong hands. As it turns out, those hands are green. A Wa is simply the fancy name for a massive group of orcs. In the case of this invasion, thousands of orcs led by the
world's most normal Londoners, by the way. The orcs are the world's most normal Londoners.
War boss Grimskull.
If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, they're literally an analog, and like the makers of Warhammer made them as like an analog to the crazed football fans. That's why they talk like the Oak Boys. They talk like this the entire time. They have like all these goofy names and everything. It's because they are basically an analog to the football clubs, the crazy fans of football clubs in London.
Grimskull really wants those weapons and definitely wants the Invictus.
It looks nice.
So he and his green friends are pulling out all the stops in order to get them. On the verge of being overrun, Grya called out for help, and thankfully, because of the planet's importance, the Imperial forces answered. The first of the bunch to swoop in are the 203rd Company of Cadians. Unfortunately for them, they were also the first to learn that instead of destroying Grya's orbital defense guns, the orcs instead took control of them and were able to shoot Imperial forces out of the sky.
Uh-oh.
The guards that did make it to the surface were left to fight with no reinforcements unless they could stop those guns.
Okay.
But the fact was, they were outnumbered and thinning fast. Chances of opening a path for reinforcements were unfortunately slim. This seemed like the right time to call in the big guns, the genetically modified superhuman soldiers known as the Space Marines. Better yet, it was time to call in the Warhammer 40,000 poster boys, the Ultramarines.
That's right. I love how the pose is Giga Chad as well. Let's look at the pose again. There he is. There it is. Look at the pose just being him as a Giga Chad. He's just a Giga Chad. Orcs shooting things rather than trying to crump, not destroying. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
2011 Space Marine begins with Captain Demetrian Titus, veteran Sergeant Sidonus, and newbie Leandros making their way planetside in a strike cruiser. After the ship takes damage from the Orc-controlled defenses, Titus suggests taking a different route to the surface, base jumping out the back of their ship and using their jump packs to aid in their descent. Leandros isn't thrilled and quietly protests, as this course of action goes against the Marine Code of Conduct, the Codex Astartes.
The Codex Astartes does not support this action.
Okay, that's why you were saying that. Okay. So basically, Titus is a little bit of a firebrand. He'll do what it takes to get the job done, as opposed to following the book to the letter and then, like, dying for it. Henry Cable's gonna go hard. The book is a strategic tactical manual. It's probably not a great idea to deviate from it. But I mean, it makes sense here. Like, the thing is, no book should be followed 100%, right?
However, he is far from in charge, and the plan goes forth anyway.
There we go.
On the way down, the three Marines are separated as Sidonus and Leandros fall to Graia's surface, and Titus lands onto an Orc ship instead. There, Titus begins slaughtering the Orcs aboard before
Kill them
his
all!
first meet and greet with Grimskull himself. Instead of taking the war boss out with his bare hands right there and then, Titus turns the ship's guns onto
We're always here for
itself,
good vibes.
causing it to fall from the sky into Graia's surface.
Nice.
A bit of a risky move, but Titus survives the
It
crash
works.
and successfully reunites with a very cranky Leandros.
Are you wounded?
The Codex Astartes warns against using jump packs to leap blindly into enemy fire, and for good reason.
It worked. Bitch, it worked.
After wiping his tears, Leandros accompanies Titus in reuniting with Sidonus, and together the three Marines fight their way through hordes of Orcs in an effort to save the Imperial Guard, aka the Astra Militarum, aka the normal human soldiers.
Yeah, basically the cannon fodder. The cannon fodder.
It wouldn't be long before Titus and crew shift the tides and secure the battlefield. With the situation briefly in favour of the Imperium, the Marines meet with 2nd Lieutenant Mira of the 203rd Cadian Regiment, the only surviving Imperial Guard officer
The only woman in the entire game
left on the planet. Titus thanks Mira for her service and compliments her leadership, especially under the circumstances. But their meeting doesn't last long, as the goal is clear: take back the orbital defense guns from the Greenskins. And by take back, I mean blow those frackers up.
That's
With that objective complete,
Kill them
the Imperial
all.
Guard are saved and can once more replenish
Artosh,
their
welcome, buddy.
numbers.
Good to see
From
you.
here, Titus and crew set their sights on the Manufactorum in order to secure the planet's battle titans.
This makes sense, yeah.
When they arrive, the Marines encounter a distress signal from an Inquisitor named Drogon. The message describes a device he is developing that is at risk of falling into green hands if he doesn't receive help. Thus, the Marines gained a new goal: find the Inquisitor before the Orcs do. Horde after horde, Titus fights his way through the Manufactorum until he finally reaches the Titan Invictus, and Drogon soon thereafter. It turns out that the device is a power source of Inquisitor Drogon's own creation, and an object that, if it falls into the wrong hands, could easily destroy the planet. With the possibility of Graia's demise looming over their heads, the Marines follow Drogon's advice of recovering the...
This guy has the worst haircut ever. This Drogon guy, worst haircut ever.
power source.
Yeah, Drogon, also known as Joe Rogan's brother. Oh, God. Nice.
Unfortunately, Grimskull wasn't far behind and put a damper on that plan. That delay doesn't last too long though, as the war boss's goons weren't a match for the strength of Titus.
That's right, we kill him.
After the Orc and Marine scuffle, Titus retrieves Drogon's device from the generator room of the Manufactorum, causing a massive explosion. But similar to the start of the story, Titus survives, rising from the rubble and securing the device in its case.
So Titus literally just doesn't give a single fuck at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm guessing that this is what it is. He just doesn't give a single shit.
Once again, Titus battles his way through Xenos.
He's a heretic.
And reunites
He's a Giga Chad.
with his
One man's heretic is another man's Giga Chad, Ryan.
fellow Marines, just in time to see Orc reinforcements arriving planetside. Time to grab Drogon and get the hell out of here with the device.
Okay.
All of this sounds like a pretty good plan, but Drogon is much more concerned with how Titus was able to handle the device without its shield and live to tell the tale. This is because, to the shock of the Space Marines, it conducts raw energy from the warp.
Okay.
How are you still alive?
I got big dick energy. I got that BDE. Sounds like heresy cap? Yeah, I guess so. Talking like that is what gets your planet exterminated. I guess so.
What the heck is the warp? Well, it's basically
Chaos.
hell.
Yeah.
It's an alternative dimension of
chaos.
purely psychic energy that is home to the Chaos Gods and their unending legions of demons. However, traveling through the
Congrats, you forgot you were in a fascist military organization, champ. Yeah, exactly. It'll be liberated. Yeah, exactly, old frick.
warp is how most races in Warhammer 40,000 travel huge distances. although it isn't necessarily something you want to be associated with if you want the Inquisition to leave you well alone. After Leandros slings some accusations of heresy towards Titus, Drogon explains the device powers a weapon that the Imperium hopes to use against the Orcs, the Psychic Scourge. This untested weapon could either take out all the Orcs on Graia or split the planet in two. Out of options,
it's like a 50-50. Either it kills all the bad guys or it literally destroys the entire planet. You know, who knows really with these things? Who knows? We gotta try it, guys. We gotta try it.
Titus suggests taking the chance. A risky play, but the Emperor protects. So, with the help of Lieutenant Mira, the Ultramarines get a ride to Drogon's research facility. A bumpy ride as they are attacked by airborne Orc Stormboys.
Oh, dude!
Inside the lab, Titus
they had like
inserts the power
jetpacks.
source into the weapon, and despite another interruption from Grimskull, manages to fire the Psychic Scourge.
Okay.
Space Marine!
I like his like nice little jaw. Look at this little jaw, man. It's just a giant like metal jaw. I don't know why, but man, the orcs just crack me up, dude. I love the orcs.
Was that supposed to hurt?
However, instead of killing the Orcs or splitting the planet in two, the Scourge opened up a Chaos portal that spits out demons as well as their leader, Lord Nemeroth. It turns out that Drogon died a long time ago, and Nemeroth was using his corpse as a puppet to trick the Ultramarines into opening the portal.
What a dick! What an absolute dick! Orc is true testosterone booster, exactly, yeah.
During the commotion, Grimskull is knocked over the edge of the spire when the demons emerge. This doesn't kill him though, as he climbs back up and picks a fight with Nemeroth, sending them both over the edge.
There you go.
Maybe Grimskull isn't such a bad guy after all.
You didn't let the Joker play. There you go. That's what it is. That's what it is. I like how the orc just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, you big bad guy, I'll kill him too, man. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't so easy to kill.
Now, alongside the large number of orcs, Graia is now being flooded by a growing number of Chaos Space Marines and demons from the orbital spire. The only way to end this mess of a battlefield was to use the Titan Invictus to destroy that spire.
Hell
the new goal was clear, but
get in the
Leandros
Titan
still
and
had
kill
some
everything.
things he needed to get off his chest.
Oh, great.
Codex Astartes warns that those in league with Chaos can withstand the warp's touch.
This guy checks the Codex every time he needs to blink or breathe. To those who never played the original game, no one likes Leandros.
Yeah, so Leandros is like, well, even though you're good and you did the good thing, it's not plot armor. You're one with the chaos. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I just don't trust you.
Anyway, after dismissing Leandros'
Exactly,
concerns,
Artosh.
Titus makes his way to the Titan Manufactorum, where he bumps into Grimskull. As
to be fair, in your universe, the book is basically the Holy Bible. Yeah. I mean, it's working out for them, right, guys? Yeah, right? No, it's not.
In a showcase of Orc resilience, that second fall didn't kill him either. After Titus and Grimskull battle...
Grimskull just won't fucking die, man. I mean, yes, I guess so. Not quite, yeah.
So one last time, Grimskull's death finally leads to the end of the Orc War. With another victory on his resume, Titus reaches Invictus, overpowers its weapons using Drogon's device, and sends a huge blast at the orbital spire. The Chaos fleets had no way to enter anymore, but the Ultramarines still had to deal with the demons and Chaos forces that had already gotten through, including Nemeroth. After being entrusted with Drogon's device, Sidonus unfortunately falls to the greedy hands of Nemeroth.
He's fine. Look at him. He's fine. He's fine. Yeah, as a Necron enthusiast, I'm sure it's going to be just fine for you guys. Yeah, exactly.
Over his lifeless body, the Chaos Lord explains his plan to use
totally
the device
fine.
to ascend into a truly immortal Greater Demon, and hints that Titus's resistance could make him an agent of Chaos very soon. Filled with righteous fury after...
As a town enthusiast, you all just keep being weird while we triple your tech progress in half the time. Yeah, exactly. After the first Tyrannic War, when the Tyranids first showed up and the Codex wasn't helpful at all, many see the Codex more as guidelines. See, there you go. See, that's what I mean. This is what I mean. They're more guidelines, you know? This is all.
Witnessing the death of his brother-in-arms, Titus sets out to
Fucking
exact
space
revenge on
commies.
Nemeroth. Once again, Leandros wasn't happy about this plan. Titus fights his way to Nemeroth, joined by the Ultramarine 2nd Company, as well as reinforcements from the Blood Ravens chapter.
Okay.
These being the stars of Relic's Dawn of War titles, until finally reaching the spire and ascending with the use of a jump pack. Before the final confrontation, Nemeroth insists that Titus's connection to the warp means he is destined to fall to chaos, and lead his own band of traitor space marines, with Titus proclaiming his only destiny is to destroy the Emperor's enemies. A battle
He's like, you're gonna fall to chaos. The Titan is like, no. No, I'm just not. Sorry.
ensues and Nemeroth's ascension to demonhood is cut short before it completes. Titus uses his warp resistance to tackle Nemeroth from the spire and spends the time it takes for these two foes to fall to Earth, giving Nemeroth a well-deserved kicking.
So they're falling from the sky, and while they're falling, Titus is just beating the shit out of the Chaos Demon. While they're falling, just all the way down. That is fun. Dude, okay. I can see why people like this game. Yeah, I can see why people like this game. Yeah, just giga chatting all the way down. Just doesn't give a fuck. Falling directly to the death and just going bah, bah, bah.
The Chaos Champion is destroyed, and Titus shatters the warp-infused power source.
Okay.
A wounded but victorious Titus takes in the view of Graia, a world he has saved. But this moment of calm is interrupted by the arrival of Inquisitor Thrax and his escort of Black Templars. It turns out Leandros snitched all the way up to the Inquisition.
Bro, Leandro snitched? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, man. No good deed. This goofy little fuck. No good deed goes unpunished. Golly, man.
And thus Titus
Snitches
is
get
given
stitches.
an ultimatum. Surrender to the authority of the Inquisition, or doom his fellow Ultramarines and Astra Militarum allies to be found guilty by association. Titus leaves Graia in the custody
It's in the
of
book.
Thrax,
It's in the
but
book.
not before delivering Leandros one final savage emotional blow.
And you have failed.
As the ramp of the
right.
Inquisitorial craft comes to a close, so does the
I
story.
don't think you actually get the setting. I do get the setting. Dude, the entire point is that Titus is right. Like, you do understand this, Ryan. Like, the entire point of this entire storyline is that Titus did what needed to be done. And he was right. He was right the entire time. That's the entire point. You're going to play Space Marine sometime? 1? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, dude. I can tell you that I didn't know what to expect by Space Marine 2. And this game is already fantastic. Like, it's basically just sheer blood, guts, gore, and giga chatting the entire time. Just blood, guts, and giga chatting. It's really, really fun, and we're having a lot of enjoyment already. But I hope you guys had a lovely night. What is your favorite thing about KOTOR, Big Tall? No wrong answer. And what was the class you were playing? And any favorite companions? I mean, it's just like, holy crap, man! It's hard to go wrong with that game. Like, everything about KOTOR is just amazing. I love that game so much, man. It's such a good game. Maybe, like, one of my top 50 games of all time, straight up. Like, it's just way up there. Oh, yeah,
Space
hell yeah.
Marine.
Let's finish this.
But there is actually a lot more lore between the events of the original Space Marine and
Okay.
2024's Space Marine 2, as the sequel takes place approximately 200 years after the events of the first game. What did
So we were captured by the Inquisitor here, and we're basically told we have to be like under watch, under probation, and fight and probably die for the Inquisitors and under watchful eyes of the Inquisitors, and maybe we'll be able to clear our name. I think that's what is going on now, and that at the end of the thing, we end up surviving.
to do with Titus?
Yeah.
Where has everyone's favorite Ultramarine been all this time?
Everyone's
Why
favorite
has he got
Giga
a fresh
Chat.
new suit of armor? And what the hell is a Tyrannid? Well, we're going to answer all of those questions in a follow-up video coming very soon.
Okay.
So be sure to subscribe for that.
So we didn't need
as
that.
well
That's
as
good.
lots
That
more
was
Space
great.
Marine
That was great. Essential lore you need before Space Marine 2. I don't know. I'll watch that off stream maybe, or maybe I'll watch that next time. I just want to get back in the game. But yeah, that was good. That was really a good breakdown. I'll put that in the comments below. If there's any other information you guys think I need, You know, give it a like, give this video a sub, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments below any extra lore you want me to know about Space Marine 1 or Titus or anything else about Space Marine 2 before going into it. I'm already loving it and can't wait to commit some heresy, but only for the Emperor. There we go. It's the only way. It's the only way. I like that he's like a little bit of a rebel. And by a little bit of rebel, I mean like he's a giant rebel. For sure. Giga Chat Titus. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this man. Look at this man. Look at this absolute Chad. Made out of sheer big dick energy.